How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with my top 10 best of the year knives, and this just feels like so old-fashioned. I am not, um, you know, into modernity and into editing, and this computer is as old as I am, and so and this is my wonderful theater screen of Professor EDC, just a piece of paper. But anyways, a lot of things have happened during this year. I saw a lot of repetition, a lot of recycling of blade shapes, of uh, blade profiles or knife profiles, and it's like looking for the needles in a haystack. And so that's a bit the homework that we have to do as reviewers, that we have to do, looking for those needles, right? And so this is just an opinion. It's my opinion, and we can disagree. And I hope to read your opinions. But let's just start, all right? And I'd like to start with the best, what I consider were the two best companies or brands in the market. And there was a tie, but one of the two best brands of this year for me was Kaiser. And let me tell you a little bit why. It is not only because of all the knives that they put out this year, because they did put out a whole bunch, and from liner locks to frame locks to button locks, but also I think it was the company that diversified itself more than any other. And in that sense, I have a pretty good example right here. One of their best models, in my opinion, is the Kaiser Task 1, the T1. And I have this one in titanium and S35BN. And I just received this one, which is in my Carta. It's a liner lock, and it's 154 cm. And check out the action. And just the quality on this thing is just amazing. And the price, of course, this is it's even more than half the price than the titanium version. But man, is as good, I think. I don't know if I had to do it all over. I don't know if I might have just gone for this version. I love my titanium version, but this is something that they did very well all the year. They diversified themselves, giving us better designs, slimmer blades for better cutting performance. And not only that, but they thought about the prices. And in this blade world where prices are just with inflation and all, but they just exploded in our faces, Kaiser is one of those few brands that gave us options. And if their prices were, in some cases, were high, they ended up lowering them. And all in all, I think they gave us more options. And for that, and just the diversity in design, in quality, in price, I think that's why I thought of Kaiser as the best brand of the year 2022. But apart from Kaiser, there was another brand that surprised me. And can you guess what it is? Oh, yeah. None other than Jack Wolf Knives. And it really surprised me. I think it's taking the traditional world by storm. It's just Ben Belkin, just a person focused on quality, on the love for traditionals, and this is proof. Each and every one of his knives is proof of that, I think. We can see, as the box so wisely says, modern interpretation, timeless design. It's just that. Great traditional knives, but modernized, upgraded, and executed, done in a perfect manner. They're just so perfectly executed, and they're razor blades. If you haven't tried one, or check out the reviews that we have, that so many of us have in the internet, and they're laser beams, just a hollow grind, so thin. I haven't really experienced this thinness in other folders. So check it out, and just the overall quality and the materials that Jack Wolf is using, and it's just beginning. This is just the beginning, so I'm very excited to see what comes next, and I just had to. I'm excited every month when my new knife is gonna come, and so just had to talk about that, really. And those were and one is the best company, the best brand for the year, and the best newcomer, if you want to put it that way. So best newcomer, Jack Wolf Knives. Best brand of the year, Kaiser. Let's continue. Let's go to number 13. Yeah, 13. Why? Because for different reasons, which I'll talk about in some point. At some point, 13 is a special number, and so I will name this these videos that I'll do once a year, the top 13, the 13 blades of Professor EDC, or Professor EDC's 13 blades. Okay, so let's go with the number 13. And number 13 is none other than the Pinion by our friend Casey of Tempest Knives. Now, Casey's case is a very interesting one. He started up with a different model. I don't remember the model, which had its elements, its positive elements, but I just did not connect with the first model. But when this model came out, when I first saw this model, man, did I want to try it. And we were looking for a way to send this to me, to send this to Mexico, to make that work. It's difficult. It's always difficult down here. But we're trying to find a way. This is a great knife all around. The price, the materials, the design, I love this knife. And I think that Casey is just relentless, and he'll strike out in just, life is life, and we're going to strike out a few times, but we're going to hit a few home runs in this game, and I think this is a home run for Casey, and congratulations, Casey. I love the pinion, and hope we can get these knives down here, and especially mine. I want to get the black micarta one, and but I want to bring more of these knives down here. So number 13, the Tempest pinion. Number 12, the Bestech Fairchild. How could I not add this beautiful monster to the list? I mean, I'm an overbuilt. I started off as an overbuilt guy, and I've grown and I've evolved, and I keep on learning. But I have a soft spot for overbuilt knives, particularly when they are this well done. There are many overbuilt knives out there, but if we see the lines on this thing, and just the flow of those lines, and the holes, and just the milling, and the cutting performance of the blade, it's just a win. This is just a win of an overbuilt knife. Something that is also strange and not so common. We may find overbuilt knives that may be wonderful designs, but they just don't cut as well. And man, did this thing made my list. So I hope I can get one of these down here as well in one of those opportunities. That is the Bestech Fairchild, number 12. Number 11, if this old computer allows me to. Sorry about the lighting and the computer. It's what I have, and I try to do the best I can with what I have. But I do my homework. I study. I do my research and study each and every one of these pieces, and they are here for a reason or another, but not because of I have read, I have watched, I have heard, hours of knives, and well, they are here. So that's the Bestech Fairchild. Number 11, the Concept Fenrir, and this is, I even like the name Fenrir. If I the memory fails me, but if I remember, it was like the wolf god of the northern peoples in Europe, the Vikings and the that area. And this, you guys know, I love harpoons. If you didn't, well, now you know. And this harpoon, man, do I want to get one of these. I want one of each and every one of these 13. Of course, there are a few that I was able to get. But each and every one of these, by the way, these are pretty mixed in matters of prices. I never talk about prices for security reasons here in Mexico, so please understand that. But anyways, they're pretty mixed, and they go from $65 to $600, $700, $800. So hope you you take that into consideration. The materials that are right now, how can we say, popular, micarta, titanium, M390, etc., is this M390 or is I think this one was S35. Let's see. S35, it's right there. S35 VN, which in many cases I prefer. But it's just a great design, ergonomic, aesthetically pleasing, and I hope I can get one down here. That's the concept Fenrir. Let's go to number 10. How could we not add in the top 10 a Kaiser? How could we not? And in this case, the Kaiser Hiccup. I mean, the Kaiser Drop Bear. I'm thinking of the Hiccup because the Hiccup was my choice of this year. I love the design on the Hiccup. This was for me a bit more of I like it, but it's just a bit vanilla, if you will. I really don't get me wrong, I really like the design, but I don't know, I look for certain elements that'll spark that interest, that I like this. And it's the clutch crossbar mechanism that Kaiser just implemented, which is fantastic, I think. Very, very interesting. And aluminum, 154 cm. One of the other things that Kaiser is doing, it's upgrading, downgrading and upgrading for different prices, and giving us that possibility, giving us that versatility in prices. That's something I really appreciate from Kaiser. We can find the handles in fat carbon, and they go up to $190 or so. I try not to be specific about prices, but from time to time I'll mention around something. But the Drop Bear is just a great everyday carry folder. And though I find it a little bit vanilla, it's just a little bit vanilla, not enough that I wouldn't buy it. I would buy this knife. I would carry it and use it. If you ask me between this and the Hiccup, I'll definitely I prefer the Hiccup. And there were many, the Mini Roach, the Escort, I think, another one I liked. Just so many knives that Kaiser put out with great designs, with good materials and good prices. So had to include Kaiser in the, of course, number 10. Let's go to number 9. And of course, one of the best models ever, I think, the Task One, the T1, in micarta, 154 cm, liner lock. Check out the action. I have the titanium one, as I mentioned, and you can't. It's very difficult, and it hurts to open it, to spidey flick it, because of the type of thumb studs it has, and the detent is pretty strong on the titanium one. But on this one, man, this is a joy, and half of the price or even less. That's another thing that Kaiser is doing well, reviving great designs like the Task One, and now even in a button lock. So versatility, hell yeah, great job that Kaiser did this year. Number 9, a knife that I think was overlooked, and it is the Riat Gent number 9. This thing was amazing, is amazing. I had it here for the channel, titanium handle, no hardware. There was how you open this thing. It has like a mill in the back, in the middle, like in this part. If we look at it like this, it would be inside between the two slabs of titanium, and they, of course, if you're paying certain amount of money, they give you the tool. That's what you should do, and that's what they did. And just a fantastic knife all around. M390 titanium, great design, comfortable in the hand, aesthetically very pleasing. I don't know if this is more like a sheep's foot or I don't see it like a Warncliffe. I see more of a Nesmuk shape in there, with a harpoon, small harpoon there. Modified Nesmuk, if you will. Just love that belly and that hollow grind. Great knife that I think in many cases was overlooked, but I loved this knife by Riyadh. So that's the Gents number 9 by Riyadh, number 9. Gents number 9, and it was in the place, the 9th place. Let's go to the 8th place, shall we? And in the 8th place we have, oh yeah, I adore this thing so much that I just had to get one. And kind of a cookery style. This is taken from a Taiwanese traditional knife. I don't remember the name of it because it's kind of different, rare for me. But just all in all, 154 cm, G10. The action is just excellent. Great size, rare, different. I love it. I love what Vasties brought to the table with this knife. Vasties is the brand, and can you guess who made this knife? The brand is Vasties, but they sent it to be made by Kaiser. So Kaiser did the first productions of these knives. So I'm curious to see who they're going to choose, or who they chose to continue with that job, because they changed manufacture. And well, let's just hope they keep the quality that Kaiser, we know that Kaiser gives. And not only the quality, but the prices on these things, because what we see in the Vasties brand is this great quality, good designs, and good prices. So let's see if with this change that doesn't affect one area or the other. But this is the Vasties Nightshade, and I love this design. One of my favorites, definitely, of this year. That's number 8. Let's go to number 7. Number 7, a controversial knife for me. I have a pretty rough review of the Jaeger, and putting that aside, it's I'm trying to see beyond, of course, the Jaeger, and trying to see beyond of certain things, and I kind of like this knife. This knife is one of those that I wish on the other knives that I'm talking to you about. I have done my research, my homework, and I'm pretty sure of what I'm saying. This knife makes me doubt just a little bit. This knife just makes me wanna hold one in hand and be proven wrong. But anyways, I see enough elements to think that this is a pretty good knife, particularly the mini FSD. I think the FSD is this one, and I like big knives, but this one I just didn't connect with this one. But with the mini FSD, which is not mini, I think it's around 8 inches. That's a perfect size, and it just looks connects. I don't know why it connects. I connect more with the mini FSD, and so just this is one of those that I wish I could prove myself wrong and try one of these out and just be done with that whole thing, that I mentioned before. What was it? It was the essence, finding the essence of something, and that's something that I couldn't find in the Jaeger. But in this case, there is that spark that tells me, there's something here. There's something here. But I wish I could have that in hand. I can try that in hand and experiment that in hand, to have that just done with. But I did find enough information. I read, I watched, I listened to, and I do think that there are more than enough elements to place the FSD in number 7. Number 6, the Reich Lamella. Oh man, the first time I saw this thing, I fell in love. There was another version, more like a previous version. I don't know if from last year or 2 years ago, but it's like if you were looking, and I don't remember the name, should have wrote it down, but like if you were looking at the interior, at the skeleton of this, at the organic skeleton of this metallic body, more like in the Alien spirit, the Alien the movie or the movies, and the evolution of from that to this is just a whole different topic. But everything every line, how it's assembled, even how difficult it is to disassemble and give maintenance. And I love Persian style blades. I find that this curvature cuts so well, slices so well. It's just a continuous cut, and I find everything just right about this knife. And what Reich has done here really, really impressed me. Really. And this is one of those knives that sooner or later I have to try this out. And if, of course, it's there are just so many things that I want to bring down here. And I end up selling most of them because I just can't keep them, right? And that's how I can survive. This channel survives in that way. But this is a different design. You guys know that I love different designs, that I take into consideration different elements, right? And just a gorgeous knife in in my opinion and in my eyes. And that would be the right Wamella in number 6. Let's go to the top 5. Number 5. We're going faster here. All right, number 5. Oh, of course it had to be Brian Nadeau, Shot by Design, collaboration with Riyadh, the Mini Tempest. I have the Evo Typhoon in Harpoon Tanto, which I adore, one of my favorite knives in my collection. It's all blacked out, and man, that is the only knife in my collection that I still haven't used. And I will use for New Year's. So, I don't have safe queens. I don't believe in safe queens. For those of you who have safe queens, that's perfect. I totally understand. But I do just, want to experiment the feeling of really using my knives. And so I also love the simplicity of these lines. It's just, you look at this, I look at this, and it's kind of alive. It's screaming to cut something, but also with elegance, with style. It's kind of traditional elements, because we can look at this very neutral handle and a very known drop point, and well, you put a neutral handle together with a drop point, what do you get? No, this is totally different. This is in the Imaginarium, like I just mentioned. You put a more neutral handle and a drop point, and what do you get? What image do you get? I might get a Rat 1, and I love the Ontario Rat 1, but this is different. This is totally different. This is design at its best. And as many of the other models that he has, and I did not connect with the most recent one. I liked it, but did not connect with it, and I was just late to the party for this one. And of course, you guys know, when you gotta wait, because of economic things. You just can't get all the knives, all the pieces that we may want. But this is a fantastic design. I respect and I admire Brian Nadeau very much, and what he does, puts out 1-2 models per year, and doesn't take advantage and repeat, or not take advantage, but you know what I mean. He could just take one of the models that he has had success with, and just go with that for the rest of his life, and just modify the carbon fiber or the finish on the blade, and yet he challenges himself with different models. He challenges his creativity, and that's something I respect very much. And I love this design, the Mini Tempest by Brian Nadeau, collaboration with Riyadh. That's number 5. Number 4, can you guess what it is? I bet you can't. Number 4. Of course, it had to be Jack Wolf knives. How could I not include one of the main elements in my personal collection. So much that I've ended up many times having a Jack Wolf knives as my primary knife. Yeah. For example, this one, this is the last model, the December 2022 model, the Jack Wolf Venom Jack. And this has the size and just the, the it feels strong in the hand to use as my primary knife. And I'm just loving every time, every month that it's that time of the month when mine gets here, so that I can check it out, test it out, and do my review and all. But they are really something. And I say this first and not most as a collector and as a user, as a consumer of this knife. So I don't get anything for free, and I absolutely respect what Ben is doing and the quality of work that he's doing. And but not only that, but the innovation that Ben, and this is just beginning. I mean, he just began with the sharpshooter 9 months ago, 9 models ago, 9 patterns ago. So I'm very excited for Jack Wolf knives to see where they are going, because from what I've seen so far, and I have the 9 patterns, it's just fantastic. So that's number 4. Choose whichever you like the most. In my case, just as I'm about to choose 1 or 2 as my favorite, the new one comes, and yeah, the Venom is one of my top 3. I gotta say that. The rest I'll show in a video. I won't spoil it, but the Venom Jack is just a gorgeous knife. Number 3. But not only that, this version in particular caught me by surprise. Generally, I would have chosen the simple, the basic titanium version, which I love, I enjoy dearly. I have the Evo 2, and I'm talking about the Custom Knife Factory Evo 3. The first impressions video will come later. But this version, the all blacked out version, in this DLC coating, just like smoked coating, because you see, depending on the light, you see it dark, you see it kind of black, but then the light hits the blade or the handles, and it changes. So this DLC coating is something very different. There were ones with micarta which were, I think, okay. Did not connect with those, and this gorgeous the plain version, and the one with Damasteel, which was much more expensive. Oh my God, the battery is low, 10%. I'm gonna have to run and connect before this finishes. Please excuse me. Oh my God. Oh, and I just had to, sorry about that, guys. Live TV, but I don't want to do the whole video again. Let me connect. There we go. These have been the longest videos I've ever done, and it's the first time I do a top 10, or in this case a top 13. But I love what they did with this DLC coating, this finish. It's kind of shiny at some points, and I'm not for, shininess is not something that I look for. But for example, here, as you can see, it's a bit more polished than on the handle and on the blade itself. So it's just, I keep on admiring and playing with the light. And like I always say in Spanish, the light will reveal the secrets of the steel, and in this case the secrets of the titanium as well, and the secrets of this DLC coating finish. Just a gorgeous piece. Really enjoying, really liking this Evo 3. That's number 3. Evo 3, third place. So, first, the top 2. And this, oh man, this was tough, but at the same time it was easy. Because there was one word that defined the first place, and that's innovation. And not to say that number 2, the second place, doesn't have that, but it was just in different levels. But number 2 is a fantastic knife, and that is the SNEX Vision R. I simply could not resist not to have this knife in the channel. Designed by SNEX. I don't remember the name of this lock, the locking mechanism, but it's pretty much like the shark lock, and if I remember correctly, this locking mechanism was designed long before the shark lock. I don't know how they did not have any problems there, but I do suppose that Andrew Demko designed the shark lock after this. And I did not only, I could not just, have one of these. And that's strange, but I just had to bring 2. And the speed holes, the locking mechanism, even the clip where it's positioned, it might look uncomfortable, but believe me, it's not. At least not for me. A great slicer, a great design, comfortable in the hand, and just fantastic. I'm enjoying this model so much, with a kind of a triple bevel, as you can see there, both in the all blacked out version and all silver version. Man, do I love this knife. But that's number 2. Number 1. Number 1. The first time I saw this thing, I saw it with Nick Shabazz a couple of years ago, I think. He got a I just slipped. I have it on the tip of my tongue. A prototype. It was he got one of the few prototypes, if not the only one, and It's none other. Help me out, computer. Hello? Oh my god. Don't do this to me. There we go. The Factor. Hey, this thing does what it wants when it wants. Winter Bladeco, The Factor. This took the knife community by storm, I think. It's something so strange. It's a small knife. It's a very EDCable knife. Love the, what is it? Sheep's foot? I think it's a sheep's foot. You'll correct me if it's a Warncliffe, but I do believe it's a sheep's foot. And I did try to get one of these and was just not able to. And I hope I can get one in the future. Constructed with magnets, so the detent holds the blade with magnets, crossbar, locking set mechanism. Man, this thing has the works. And it's, if you haven't seen this knife, go and check it out in Nick Shabazz's channel with Metal Complex, and this is just all over. And I do think it's a fantastic knife. I'm not a small knife guy, but I have learned, I have evolved, and I've learned to appreciate these things. And so this would be my number one because of the innovation, the creativity. This is a whole different ticket. And I think we need, in this knife world, that we see a lot of repetition, that we see, one thing is to be inspired by a model, by a knife. We can be inspired by a cookery or by a, what was the name of the Taiwanese knife? I don't remember. But concrete this in a folder that is as good as this, that's something. But to, out of the blue, and I'm not saying from one day to another, because this took years of design, of work, of hard work, and that's why I can never support clones. I can never support that market, because there are people who break their backs, who are investing their minds, their creativity in things like this, and this just deserves that respect, that protection by law, and so and that support from the community. Because whether we understand this or not, we should at least try to understand and know, if we love knives, this is something really out there. This is something that pulls the whole community into different directions, and so into the future. And so congratulations to Winter Bladeco for the Factor. I expect to see much more, because I've seen the work of, I don't remember his name, but if it was Brian, and I chatted because I wanted to get one, but I have followed him, and he's a very creative person, and I, even if this is his one and only, this is fantastic. But I do think that we'll be seeing a whole lot more from Winter Bladeco. That's my number one knife of the year. Guys, thank you for your support. I hope to continue with your support, and that you share I'd love to grow this channel and count with your support, with your comments, and I want to wish you all and your families Happy New Year. May you be full of health, may you have a good job, and may you have a bit of luck. Luck that we all need. And do something good for someone else. And just thank you. Have a wonderful new year. And I'll see you next year. Professor EDC out.